What's up everybody, it's Smitty here. This is Uke with Smitty. I have a tutorial for you guys on a nice little song chord progression that is not very difficult to do and sounds pretty good. So this is what it sounds like. So this is a chord progression I've been kind of messing around with a little bit, and I posted about it on Reddit, and somebody asked for a tutorial, so we here at Uke with Smitty, aim to please, so I'm happy to do that. So there's three chords, A major 7, D6, and E6. So this is an A major 7 here. So you're only fretting these two strings, the G string and the C string on the first fret. I'm using my pointer finger and my middle finger. Okay, and then you're going up to the second fret, and I'm just using one finger, my pointer finger, all the way across all four frets, and I like to push with two fingers so I give a little more pressure. So if you're doing it and you hear anything like that, it means you need to press a little bit harder. What that is you've got these frets here, right? And if you don't press hard enough, then you get the noise of the string hitting the fret and buzzing on the fret. If you press hard enough, then all you get is the noise of the fret as if it's only being depressed on the fret. I don't know if that makes sense. But a lot of times when something's buzzing, it's because you're not pressing hard enough. And I've said this before in another video, but be thankful that ukulele strings are nylon, so they're very easy on your fingers, and the tension is not very bad compared to some other instruments. There's some instruments that really hurt stringed instruments to play. Mandolin comes to mind. I play a lot of mandolin, well I used to, and man, my hands would be so sore afterwards because there's so much tension. But ukulele, tension is low, strings are nylon, so even if it hurts a little bit at first, it's not too bad, so just keep pushing through and you'll get it. So that's our second chord, D6. Then we go up 2 frets from the second fret to the 4th fret, doing the same thing, depressing all 4 strings, G, C, E, A, on the 4th fret, and I like to once again use my pointer finger and press down with a little more pressure from my middle finger. And of course you want your thumb on a nice solid resting spot on the back to press together. And that is the E6 chord, and then we're going right back down to the D6. So it's A major 7, D6, E6, D6. And here's a little side note. 6 chords sound pretty cool on ukulele. So here's a G6, there's a G, and you just take that one away, and then we have our D6 here. So, actually no, sorry, here. And they're kind of jazzy, and I find that the equivalent of that on a guitar is pretty difficult to play, but due to the tuning of a ukulele, you can play some pretty cool jazzy chords that aren't very hard, and that's kind of the basis of this song. Alright, so now that we have those 3 chords, let's practice playing through. First, I'm just going to use a very basic strumming pattern where I'm going. So there's a lot of names for this. It's the island strum, or I've heard people call it the Swiss Army strum because you can use it for a lot of songs. It's a down, down, up, up, down, up. Down, down, up, up, down, up. So it is an extremely versatile strum that you can use for so many different songs. So if you're just learning, just beginning, work on this strum pattern because it's like the Swiss Army knife strum. You can use it for a million different things. So we're going to start with that A major 7. Sorry, I keep having to look because I can't remember. A major 7, okay? So we're going to go down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So just practice that. Then we're going to switch to the D6. Go up 2 again to the E6. Go back down 2 to the D6. I'm going to put it together and smoothen it out a little bit. One more time through. Down, down. so that's the basic chord progression. And as another side note, I don't know if you've ever heard the song Suavecito by Malo. Those first two chords, that's basically the whole song. So I'm just adding another one, the E6. So the basic strumming pattern, that the island strum, the Swiss Army strum, whatever you want to call it, that works fine. When I posted the video, I was doing something a little more complex. So if you want to stop there, if that's where you are, that's where you are. Be happy where you are until you're not there, right? Don't think that you have to play with some crazy strumming pattern for it to sound good. But I was doing what's called chucking. So basically, on some of the strums, the downstrokes, you actually put your palm on the string and you get that little chuck sound. So I was going like down, down. Let me figure this out. Down, down, up, up. Okay, so it's the exact same strum pattern, the island strum or the Swiss Army strum, but on the second down, you put your palm down and you use your fingernails. By the way, I like to strum right where the fretboard meets the body of the ukulele. I used to strum here, and then I found, I think the sound is a little bit better here. So it's the same strum pattern. Down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up. So the on two of the downs, you're doing the chucking. Down, chuck, down, up, down, down, chuck, chuck, down, chuck. Hope that makes sense. Down, down, up, down, up. You're chucking on the down, down twice. So we're going to practice doing that, and then we're going to go up to the D6. Chucking. Now, you can always get more complex. Another thing you can do is basically have the chucking, and at the same time, especially when you get to these bar chords, because you're fretting all four strings, what you can do when you're pressing down, when you're strumming the chord, you want every fret all the way to press down. But there's a little trick where you can kind of let it go, and it stops and mutes the sound. So listen to the difference here. First time I won't do it, the second time I will. I'm not doing it. Now I'm going to do it. So experiment with that. It's a little bit difficult to explain, but you're just letting off a little bit to where it's, instead of letting it ring all the way out and depressing all the way down, you're doing this and kind of letting it go just a little bit, not all the way here. You don't do that. You just let it go a little bit, and then it mutes all four strings. So that's another little technique you can add in if you want to jazz it out. Now, by the way, if these are too complex for you, that's totally fine. Go back to the regular island strum and enjoy that. The ukulele is such a fun, easy instrument, and just enjoy where you are. So if you're not even doing the chucking and you're just enjoying the down, down, up, down, up, it's still a very pretty chord progression. Sounds much more difficult than it is, which is nice, right? When you're just getting started on the ukulele, you want to make things that sound really cool without, maybe you don't have all the years of experience it takes to do all the other bells and whistles and add the hammer-ons and the chucking and things like that. This island strum sounds pretty good on its own. Now, the last thing I was doing on that video was some hammer-ons and things like that. So I'll just quickly go through that. If you know what it is, you can add it in. If not, I'll do another video on hammer-ons and hammer-offs later. But a hammer-on is when you play an open string and go, and a hammer-off is when you fret a string and let it go. So hammer-on, hammer-off, hammer-on, hammer-off. So I was going like this. And then that was on the second fret, on the E and A string. was doing this with the 3rd, imagining that this is 1, 2, 3. It's actually the 4th fret, but whenever you fret something, bar it, you can kind of consider that your new 1st fret. That sounded terrible. Let me start again. So. Then when you go up to the E6, you can't do that same pattern. It doesn't sound good. You have to go up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can easily use your pinky or ring finger. So altogether, it's kind of something like this. So that's another something to mess around with that you can add to that chord progression, which is just a little something to tweak and add on. It sounds kind of neat. You don't have to do it. If you're not able to do it, don't worry about it. Just go back to the regular island strum. If you can do the chucking, add that in. If not, don't stress. The ukulele is a chill instrument, and it's honestly one of the reasons I'm really attracted to it. I can play a lot of other instruments, but I find myself gravitating to the ukulele because it's impossible to play the uke and be unhappy. I guess you could if you were playing blues or really minor chords. But anyway, mess around with that chord progression a little bit. Let me know in the comments how it goes. I hope this video was super helpful. I know it was kind of strung together and most of it was in one take, but I hope you really enjoy, and let me know. Thanks for watching. See you later.